Welcome back. We're playing the SimCity. Here I'm Chan the Tech Man, and we're revisiting this Chan City. I did this a while back, and I ran it once on this computer, but I didn't play it that much. I just wanted to see if it would run, and that if I had loaded my old game, because I knew the game would run, and if my old game would work, and it did. Made sure I saved it correctly. And I call all of it Chan City, because in this one you can't, as you can see, you can't make a very big city. I think maybe the reason they did this was because I know on City Skylines you had to make you had to have a pretty large computer to play it. When it got real big on City Skylines, you had to have a pretty large computer to play it. And I think that's why they did this. This come out before City Skylines, so the computers wasn't as big. And they had a little online play with this one. That's you can do. And look at there. A lot of drones. They have features in this game that isn't in City Skylines. I like the drone feature. And stuff like that. It's your personal preference which game you like better. I mean, I think I can play City Skylines longer sessions, like longer terms. But then again, I played this one for 4 hours, and one time, and I didn't know what I thought it was an hour. I do like this better in this game. I've said that when playing City Skylines. So when you know what I'm talking about now, when I show you this, I call it the Meg Left. That's not what it's called, but that's what I call it. See these little, that's like the subway, and they call it the metro, but everybody else calls it the subway. In City Skylines, it's underground. This one, it goes above the road. See these little, looks like a worm. That's what that is. And it's pretty nice because you can place it. It goes above the road. Not all roads, though, and you can't. I mean, there's some drawbacks to this. Some roads it won't let you put them on, and some you can. But in my opinion, you can place these more places, I think. Because this is this goes around. I mean, don't let that fool you sticking out. It don't come out just and fall. That's just a graphical glitch. See how it just doesn't show a turn correctly. That is nicer, in my opinion. Or have both would be nice. See here, watch it. always going backwards. It's pretty nice. But the downfall is on these, it uses the thing called control net, which basically people make control net, and you have to have these little control net things. Like right here, no, that's a ground scrubber. See, that uses control net too. See, I mentioned this plain city skylines. They have a for air, but they have a ground scrubber that scrubs pollution out of the ground. I know there's no such thing like this in real life, although they probably could make it. See how that goes around. That's just a graphical glitch. But that uses control net, and that says how much this uses. This does not use control net. The reason why I have those recycling plants take control net, I believe. I can't remember. I found that to be the most efficient in this game doing trash. Because yes, there is trash problems here too, and it builds up. See, the traffic is pretty good for the population in this small city because you have drones. See these drones? They send these drones in this game to do shopping. Look at that. That's a pretty plane. Blimp. They send drones to do shopping and different things in this game. And you'll see them everywhere, but you have to have a lot of drone plans. Because they crash and that makes more garbage too. They break down a lot, I guess, in this game. It generates a lot of garbage. But when this game come out, drones wasn't that. I might be wrong, but it wasn't that big as they are now. So that's kind of futuristic type. But drones don't do that completely. Yet Amazon's working on that. But that's kind of one of the things in real life that the people just thought would be kind of cool to put in a game. But actually, it's working out eventually. I don't know if it'll be as prevalent as like it is in this game or not, but it's kind of working that way. That was kind of neat because when this game come out, that wasn't a thought, just maybe fiction, but it's kind of neat that that's working out that way. It doesn't have subways in this game. It has trains. It's kind of hard to use them. Like on this city, the train it actually goes out, and only time it comes in enough is over here. Riders, pretty good bit of riders though. And in this game, it uses public transportation better. See a lot of public transportation people using it. A lot of people walking. See how many people was walking and stuff using the bus. Let me see. Mass transit. See how many people that's using the bus here per day? And all of these? And it goes to other connected cities, but I call them all Chan City. But it's pretty good public transportation. And I think it utilizes it much better here. If you see the roads, that's pretty good for this population, and to have all of this stuff. Well, obviously it's not as large as city skylines, but it is factories. Here's all these factories here, and it's not too bad. Look, to utilize it right, it's pretty good. On the worst thing in traffic that I see in this game is from the outside. See all of this? That's outside traffic, and that's the worst. and you can't do anything about it. Look at this. Pretty neat car. Coming from the other, quote, cities, I call them neighborhoods. It's more like neighborhoods than the other cities. That's a pretty good population in this city, and you can get way up there if you put the mega towers. And I had one here, but it glitches a lot. Here's the blimp. Let's see all the tourists that ride that. This does tourism pretty good. I'm working on that in Smitherton and City Skylines, building up the tourism. I've been working on that here kind of recently, so I've been putting a lot of more bus stops, bus lines, and tourist buses and stuff like that. I'm working on that slowly. See, the metro is the subway in City Skylines. As if you go back in my videos and watch them, like this seems to be higher than this, so you probably couldn't put that across there. And for some reason, it won't let you do that. I don't know why. It's a glitch in City Skylines, because in real life you could put a subway if one area is higher than the other. I mean, you could do that. I mean, you could figure it out. But in the City Skylines, you can't do that. It's hard to do. But in this game, these megaliths go across here fine, which the subway should. But it's actually the same sort of situation here. And this one is in my Smitherton, because the river goes through it, and one side is higher than the other. So the bridge that I could only put very few metros across. It was very hard to do. I think I had a few. But it's not a lot of them. If it is some, it's a few. I believe I put some across there. And maybe just one. I don't know. It was really hard to do because of that. And they shouldn't be. What's that? Oh, that's the thing. That's one of the delivery things from the trade port. See, that uses it a lot better. See there? In City Skylines, it doesn't have that. Like that little, that's kind of futuristic how it takes off and stuff, but basically a helicopter is what it is. And to deliver stuff. Now, that kind of feature would be great in City Skylines, to deliver stuff via helicopter and drone type things. It would cut down on the traffic a lot. And that's as you could go back in my videos and see, that's a huge problem with traffic, is the delivery vehicles. The biggest problem in City Skylines is that. The biggest traffic backup is that reason. If you go back and see all the delivery trucks and stuff. And the buses, for some reason they put out too much buses per stop. But see here, this one, it doesn't. The buses aren't backed up like that. It's bad. And they go pretty fluid. So there's kind of pluses in this game. And here, you have sewage treatment plants. Well, you really have that. It doesn't call it that, but you have that in City Skylines. That one is it puts out almost pure water. I guess it's maybe not completely pure, so I guess in that game you can't put it back into the system. But in real life, they have sewage treatment plants. You can put it back into the water. I mean, not 100% like this one, but in City Skylines, you have to put all the sewage, unless you download something people's made. You have to put it all on the water, and it goes back into the water. So if you have the cheaper ones, if you don't have the pack. I can't remember, green something maybe pack, the Echo pack or whatever, the extra pack. The base game is you just put them right on. It has to be on the water of some sort. It doesn't have to be on the road but it has to be connected to a pipe, obviously. You had to put pipes out. Well, these go on the road. All of this goes along the road. So the downfall is you have to connect it to a road. These. And so you can't just put them out somewhere. You'd have to build a road to put it on it. That's not too bad, I guess, really. It does take up space. But look how clean that looks. When you look at my city, you have to have, on my Smitherton on the city skyline, this is my city too, you have to place those sewer pipes, outlets, all along. So there's a ton of them all along through there. So almost the whole shoreline on that game on one side, on my game, on the other city, is filled up with those. It just looks awful. They need to have some other type of design. You can buy some, download what people's made. People made some. I don't know how efficient they work because I haven't used them. Some of these, but I don't know if it puts it back into the water, which would be nice if it put it back into the water like these, and hence you wouldn't need as much water pumps. And on here, it's a plus and minus. It needs to be both on here, where you can get water from the river and water from the ground. Here, the only way you can get water is water pumps is from the ground. I don't know if where there's any right here. I'm sure there's some in this city. Yeah, here. Groundwater, which would be pretty, it's clean. A lot of places do get their clean water from the groundwater. Reason why I can't connect, because that road is actually a part of this, and that is. Seeing this right up, so it would be nice if you could connect those together. I guess if it's out in the countryside, there's a large land area that's nothing developed on it, it's pretty clean, and plus it cleans it obviously when you get from aquifer. See, the buses really they use a lot here. See, people walk a lot more here and use. It's pretty. Look at that. It's a lot more than city skylines so far on mine. Some reason a lot of people don't like to use public transportation in Smitherton, but look at there. See, that's in the ferry terminal. That's a lot more than mine. Even though my city skylines on Smitherton. I even have preferred ferry, and they still don't use that many. And here, I think you can actually go to. That connects to other neighborhoods, so you don't have to have in city skylines on that. You'd have to have a ferry stop here and a ferry stop here and a ferry depot, so it takes up a lot more space. The ferries do in city skylines. But the water, you have to have these connected to the road. That's the only way you can get water. You can't get it from the river. In city skylines, it does have both. We can do, but from the water and from the river and the ground. It's kind of more realistic, I guess. But it doesn't. The downfall in city skylines, this kind of. You had to put it on clean water, I guess, but it does have one where it will purify the water. This this pumping station doesn't. I'll just show you. Well, this water pumping station, it purifies it. And when you first put it in it, it's not. But see, filtration pumps, you can delete that one it puts in. And on this one, you don't have to put more. Like you can upgrade. You can only upgrade it so much. But see, you can upgrade it to a certain extent, that one, so you can plop one down. And even on the ground, polluted ground, because it does make noise, so you might want to put it like over here. And look at that ground, it's polluted because of the factories like the other one. But another way to clean that ground is using the water station and delete the first one. That when you put it down, delete it, put a filtration, all of them filtration. And it filters the water and and the ground So that's kind of nice that it has filters on this. So you really don't have to worry about whether it's polluted or not, because they'll clean it. And that's more like real life. Where in city skylines, it doesn't clean it at all. You just get to pumping it from a river and into people's. And on there, it's got to be on a clean water. So you have to have the clean... they've had to set up where in the base game you can't make a huge city because eventually that sewer on the base game, it just pumps the raw sewage into the river. That's not allowed legally in real life. This pumps it in there. But what it does on the base game, you can see all these people's made. This whole river would just be sewage. It won't be a river. It'd just be sewage. So where are you going to get your water at? So you're going to go so far in the base game. You have to get this add-on where it pumps out clean water. But see, and another thing is, like if you have all your water pumps here and all your sewage here, the water level will be really low here. Because it's pumping all the water. Just saying it's flowing from here to here. The river always flows, and on there it flows that way. And it'll suck all the water from here. Then this will be low. Then I'll have deep water here because it's pumping out the sewage, the water from that. And it's as this. When I look in that kind of details, it has its issues, and this one does. Like I've said when playing this one, they both have their issues, but I know some things in city skylines is like the death care, picking up the dead. I don't know if they have that here. They don't have that. They just have clinics and hospitals. And the hospital, they take care of this as deaths per day, and they take care of that. They have a community college and universities. But it's much better here if you have the clinics around. This game handles it much better than City Skylines. You see them at Smitherton, and it's commonplace, the common bug in the game. Everybody will tell you is picking up the dead bodies, and they'll die at businesses, shopping centers, factories, and all the time. And I'm like, why would you want to go to a shopping center where somebody dies? But it's not just one; it happens all over. And they go there, even they shop till they drop, or I guess that's old news. Shop till you drop. More people coming from this end than this one. I guess it's shop till you drop. Work till you drop. Is that workers? The workplace so bad they just die in that. In real life, the place would be shut down to have that many people dying at the factory. We got rules and regulations, so that's kind of very annoying in the game, and they have huge death waves. I had one that's like for no reason. It was like within a very short time, it was like 100,000 died. Most of the half the population, and so that's aggravating to have. I guess they add that to the game to make it part of your strategy and stuff. But I don't know. It's kind of annoying because when it hits those death waves, you cannot put enough cemeteries and crematoriums. You can't, and the game doesn't work right on that either. Because you can look back on my videos to see that you had to put 10 crematoriums just to collect in a small area, and so most of the area is crematorium because the crematoriums only put out 2 hearses at a time, even though they can put out 13. And it don't pick up in that area; it'll pick up somewhere else. And some people say, "Well, it don't pick up in that small area." No, it'll go way over here, and they'll leave this one right beside it, and I'll have 12, 11 available hearses. And it won't pick up that one right beside it. And it's not because of traffic, because if you look in the area, it's sparse traffic like this is in the whole city. So it's definitely a bug in the game, in City Skylines, and they won't fix it. It's been like that from the beginning. So that it adds, sometimes it adds a little harder to the gameplay. But if you look at the overall game, it is somewhat better than this one because even though City Skylines, you have to have a pretty large computer to play it, and when it gets really big. So this one, like I said, was made when the computers were smaller. So that's why I see this. It's small. So when you see it's pretty, it doesn't run too bad. Look, I mean, it runs really good, especially on this computer. And even on my other old computer, it worked pretty good. But to play City Skylines effectively, you really, really need the top Intel processors and really good graphics. It's 2070 or higher. 2070 running pretty good. That's what I have. I even record mine. I do a dual streaming, multi-streaming, and record it on the computer, and it runs pretty good. It'll stop every once in a while, but it's for a big city, it's pretty good. I've been talking a lot in this one and just letting it run. You can see this. The money on this game is. I used a cheat to get this much money and hit this. Because otherwise there's no way that you can, this is the bad side on this game, of City Skylines. You can do it with just no cheat, with no unlimited money mod, even though now I have it because it run into but that's what I call the apocalypse. It just, basically the whole city just went down to 5,000 people, and so you had this huge thing, and it was just negative. You couldn't. It went to a no point in it where the city just was done with, and there's no amount of anything I tried that raising taxes or anything. They couldn't. You just had to go through and delete every single thing that you made. And start all over. And so I was done with City Skylines for a little bit, and I turned the unlimited mod and stuff and got it playing, and got my city back from the apocalypse. The night is pretty good in this game. You can still see. I know I'm just showing you one neighborhood. It's what basically this is a neighborhood. I forgot what I was saying. A train of thought. What was I talking about? I mean, they're both okay games. The bad thing is that EA used to be Maxis. Had the Sims and City Sim games, all the Sim cities and stuff. They went kind of downhill after they did away with Maxis and just made it EA, all of it. They stopped updating this game, and if they kept updating it, it would be really good. They just kind of gave up. It seems like really easy. Oh yes, I was talking about that. It made it where I had to use the unlimited money on the city skylines to bring it out of the apocalypse, and it's a negative a million something now on it because I got it down 1 or 2% taxes, and I had to do it that to get everybody to come in and get the city going again. I probably could turn the unlimited money mod off now and raise the taxes, and then probably would get enough taxes in to take care of everything. I just keep it on though, and this one it's very hard after a certain extent. See, I got 0 taxes on it now because I used that cheat. There's a cheat, just hit 2 buttons. There's no mod. I can't remember what it was, control something or something. I can't remember. And it adds so much to the budget, and it's kind of after a while it's very impossible to do this. It's very hard. This one, money wise, is hard. City Skylines was really good. I had with just regular tax rate on, well, even on both of them, they consider 14% high taxes, but in real life you pay about 35%. Plus you pay for water and electricity. On here you don't. So both of them on that, you don't pay for on these. You don't pay for the electricity. People don't pay for the electricity on that, and the water is part of the taxes, and sewage. Real life, 14% plus including your electricity and all. That's, yeah, I had to say that would be really sweet. Really, really sweet. So both games has that flaw where it kind of makes it hard with money. See, Skylines, it is a little bit easier to a certain point. This one is a little harder. Then let's go to another city. Let's go to the main one, another neighborhood. I started this one first. I haven't played this one in quite a while. I ran it a little bit to make sure I had this save file correctly, and I just used it about 20 minutes. I do like SimCity 4. It's pretty good. I haven't started my own city on it. I went through the tutorial, and I thought about streaming, start the tutorial on this city. On this computer, and run through it. And while I'm going through the tutorial, while I'm learning, just go ahead and record it and stream it while I'm learning it. I like SimCity and all the Sims. I like SimCity 4. I think in all of the SimCity games, SimCity 4 is probably the best one. See, people love the public transportation. And you get a lot more people in a building in this game. See, in traffic and all of it isn't too bad. I've got it. It was pretty bad, but when I added these maglefts, it got and made a lot of drone factories. It was pretty good. But the drawback is you got to have these control net for the mag left on the academy here, and it takes up a lot of room. And each person, generates a control net, and it says it's transmitting so much. And you got to make sure people can get in here, and sometimes it's hard to get workers. And they have class levels really a lot in this game: low and medium wealth and high wealth. And that's what you see in that low, medium, and high. And that's kind of the bad thing. Sometimes control net can just crash out. When it does, your water, your sewage, the water that uses a control net, and this one does it, but some of them I think use a control net, or I can't remember which all uses control net and not. But when everything uses that control net, it just, the biggest thing is bigger maps on this game. It really would make it immensely better, because you wouldn't need these mega towers, because they're really glitchy. See, the mega towers is really glitchy, and that makes it adds to the hard making money. See, like, it's very, very glitchy. I just started removing the mega towers. It does add nice features though to the game. Like, you can add a park on the top. See, this one's they're all mad for some reason, and to tell you, for no reason, they'll get. You can see the population in each. You can build it how you want. You can even have and I think I do have a solar thing on top, because that leads to the problem with the game. Let's see if you can see it. See, these little things puts out the electricity. It's basically people, I think, or something, agents. It's it's even it shows this. It's like agents go out. And my power plant is over here, and it should, in theory, you see how the excess I have? It should, in theory, power this plant, this neighborhood is, main neighborhood, and all of the other neighborhoods without doing anything else. It's plenty of electricity, but it doesn't do that because it's all the way over here. And this area constantly had, and even this one does, see, brownouts is what they called in real life. And it's not getting enough electricity. It's because of the agents go underneath the road. And the water works pretty okay with that aspect of it. You can have it in one area, and then it will get all around, and the sewage, but the electricity. So I had to put on the mega tower, electric thing over on top of it to get power to this whole area. Yeah, and it says I should have got plenty to do. A huge amount of cities, and never run out. And you can add, and just for that one thing on there, and you can add 2 more. So you're gonna have a ton. But it does use control net. So if the control net goes down, electric goes down. This will go down, and a lot of other stuff. Mag left, it shut the city down. And that has happened. See, and I got a solar power here to do this side. It's plenty of city, but the agents, it's a bad design. It doesn't have lines. And everything has to be put onto the road. There's no power lines. So like it's just it's an arc reactor, yeah. Fusion power plant or something. Let me see, I'll show you. Fusion power plant. Yeah, I got 2 here. And you can add another one, and you can see like this one makes more than the other. See how much that makes? A lot more power than this one. So I could put 3 of those big ones, and you're going to have a but see, and it's a glitch. It's a bug in the game. But that's the way it is. Like the water goes under the ground, you can see those agents, but they work pretty good in the sewage. You can see that. And they coming from other cities, other neighborhoods. It's kind of messed up in there. So they don't go on pipes. I don't know. You know, it is what it is. See, I like this maglev because you can connect it around. You can't do that much in the subway, and the city skylines have this a main line and have another connected off to a little area. And this one, the maglev, you can do that. You can go everywhere with it, and that what makes the public transportation a little bit better in that term. Yes, it's above everything. It's on it, where instead of underground, they can make this underground too, the same way, and it doesn't look that bad. It kind of adds to the look. You can't see the road as good, but I don't know, it kind of makes it nice looking. You can see those. It's kind of nice watching those little, looks like worms that get on trees. Have you ever seen those little tree worms that eat the leaves? It's futuristic. Yeah, it does got a flow. It's just funny looking. They're driving over that crap. I don't know. I've always said that they combine the 2 games, it would be the ultimate game. They both have their little flaws. I mean, obviously, if you've been watching my city's skyline, you can see the flaws in that one. But this flaws definitely isn't, for the most part, public transportation, because it is pretty good, except for outside traffic can get a little overwhelming at times. And I built this arcology. Let me show you the whole region. Because you can't build large maps, they come up with this thing as Great Works. I mean, a large city in one place. The whole map, you know, technically that's a city and this is a city in the game. I call it neighborhoods. You can drop it down to 720. See this, how small the city is, and that's a city, but I call them in neighborhoods compared to city skylines. But some whole maps will have, you can have more than one Great Works. The city especially small, when you see how much of that is water, so that cuts down. And see the whole, that's a pretty big population because it's arcology. The city skyline is huge. There's a Great Works. It's arcology. Basically, they're just adding so you can get more people. That's how I get that 1 million people. And you can see how many people are in arcology. And so that's how they trying to fix one of the ways. The another one's the mega towers, the limited area you can build in each city. That's the way they could fix the small cities. I basically call this city a neighborhood because that's really what it is. The whole thing is a city, and really compared to city skylines. And you got that neighborhood and that other neighborhood, but they call that a city. So that's how they're trying to fix it, all of it. Having a small city is to have arcology, have the population here, and it's the way it's supposed to work, and just your stuff, shops, and everything over here. And that's how they fix that. This mega towers and the SimCity 4. I haven't made my own city in it, but yeah, they said you can really make a big city. Trying to see these settings. I thought you used to be able to see that over there, but see, the only bit that will make it why I went into arcology was it can make traffic coming from the outside overwhelming and really backed up. It's not too bad right now, but it can be really bad. I mean, it'll back up for a long ways, and this whole thing will be backed up because they're coming from that arcology and the other cities and stuff, and neighborhoods. And that can make, that's one of them, see the mega towers. Yeah, for some reason it's not loading that really well over there. It kind of, the rest of this area is not a bad traffic problem. It would be it's just coming in and out from other quote neighborhoods. But it's pretty decent otherwise. You got your oil pumps. A whole lot. This is like episode or stream 53 on this one. Quite a bit. Sometimes I could sit down with at least once. I played it 4 hours. Just one city with not getting up. I didn't realize I was playing that long. The factories, you can add modules. And I was talking about that problem in cities, skylines, about the oil pumps getting to the little things in the oil. Well, you can add, have lines. You can add pump lines to your oil pumps. Let me see. I don't see. Extraction pipelines. You can add those in the extraction pods and stuff like that. You can add connect from the factories the lines, pipelines for the oil. And that's really nice. I don't know. I never done that, but that's really nice. That will really affect it. Well, on my other computer, that showed over there. But yeah, you talking about the mod that you can put for the camera angle. I like this. There it is. They're showing it pretty decent now. I haven't, well, this one I've never played. I haven't got into the settings a whole lot on this, so. Because I played it more on my old computer. You talking about turning this on? Is that what you're talking about? And I had it really tuned on my other one. Now, this is the first time I've really actually played it on my new computer. For some reason on this one it's not showing this. Maybe it is. It's just been a while since I played it, I guess. Ooh. See this ferry, that's they use public transportation a lot more. And it's kind of nice to have these, but sometimes it's not, because it kind of blocks the city when you're trying to look out, you know, and you just see all this crap. But it's nice to have this. It's really nice. They're loving that. See, they're loving that. And the tourism pretty good on this game. Turn this back around here. There's the city. The ground scrubber. If you don't, people complain about the pollution. And they have an air scrubber. I wanted to show that. Which one was it in? I think it's... Which one? I thought I had an air scrubber. One of them. Maybe over that one. Air pollution can be a problem in both games with factories. This one maybe a little bit more with the mega towers. It's not in this one, I guess. We put on the top of the tower an air filter, basically what it is. Filters the air. I'll just show you. Well, that's something else. That's not a mega tower anyway. I'll show you. Some of you all watch as you played the game, but some people might, for some reason, that one's not showing it right. You can add on the top a air scrubber, air filter, instead of a solar. On the crowns, it won't show it right now, but one of these is the air filter. If you can see, air scrubber right here, and that's pretty nice. If you have a highly polluted city, that's a nice feature. I would wish they could have. Obviously, it couldn't be like this. Sorry, I was just looking at this. You can see you can have this connected. Connect your towers if you have a lot of them with this thing. and that cuts down on traffic because they can just go between towers. But if you have a polluted city, you can have that air scrubbers. I lost my train of thought. And it really helps. And I wish they had that, but something smaller. Obviously, you don't have the mega towers in city skylines, but something way to do that. And here's they had this before. They had that in city skylines, the park life. You can have amusement park, but you can't add zoo, I guess, and stuff. But you can do a lot of other stuff. And that's not too bad. You have a little fountain. It makes a profit, so that's good. This takes up a lot of room. They need a bigger map. That's the biggest thing. I have these two cities, neighborhoods, basically. Yeah, I got the taxes pretty low on this because of the cheat. Gee, look in there in the embezzlement. Look through here. You can see embezzlement a whole lot. It's just kind of aggravating. She could use that. Be a nice little stop. There's a ferry terminal. That's pretty good, the public transportation. This is the trade port on the water. And that does pretty good. You can manage this where you want to import, export, or you just use locally. Your ore and stuff, you know how they always complain in the city skylines, not enough raw material. See that? Starting to get a lot of traffic, but you see the drones everywhere. They don't use these much. They use a maglev more, but I just put those in. I probably put too many in, but what is that? I don't know, futuristic cars. I don't think they ever have anything like that, but oh well. I guess they got cars that somewhat look like that, but they're not the prototypes. They've never really built them for use. I'll let you look at this for a little bit. It's not a fast mode, but man, they really walking fast. They look like some robot or something. Tesla, I guess. Yeah, they kind of make it a little bit, but that's like a hovercraft. What do you call that? The DeLorean and Back to the Future. It's just a hover. Maybe that's where they got that idea from. What is that? Police car. See, it doesn't have wheels, I guess. It looks like it's like that. There's another one. Just hovering. That's more of today's looking. So yes, it's a hovering there. That's a garbage truck. And I guess they kind of have these type of cars, the little ones. Yeah, Blade Runner. They have these type of cars, I guess, kind of now. But I couldn't even fit in one. I tried to sit in one of those little Chevrolet had a little one, and I guess they still make it. I went into was looking for some car, went to a dealership thinking about getting a new car, and she said, try this one, and I literally couldn't get inside of it. I'm not lying, I couldn't get in it. The head is just too small. I'm like, yeah, there's no way I'd drive that for the distance I have to drive it every day. So I can't see. Look like it has a little bit more headroom in this, though the door seems to be bigger. So it was kind of like the Ford, and it's actually smaller, I think, a little bit smaller than the Ford Focus. More like the Festiva. It was a Chevy made it, and I can't think of the name of it, but that thing, literally just for teenagers, and even that be small teenagers. Look at these sculptures. Mr. Rogers' neighborhood right here. And they using solar power. What is that little thing on top of there? A drone? I never noticed that before. I guess probably the drone to get deliveries, maybe. Look at they talking. I wonder what they're talking about. That drone almost hit me. Did you see that? Now they turn around. Yeah, I saw that. Another drone hit me last week. Gave me a headache. That knocked me out. Let's go over here. It's over here. See where it's looking at? Look at that drone over here. Give me a headache. It's over here. See it, Cletus? I guess that's the street lights. The bus stops, maybe. Maybe both. No, this is the bus stops. Street lights, I guess. What are they waiting for? Came from bus stop. Has some old, they have money and they headed home from a long day of work. Came from bus stop. I guess these things are, that's got 3 of them. I don't know what that is. I'm thinking the drone lands on that. And they just come and get it, walk over there and get it. I don't know. I don't know what these things are. Shoot the drone down. I always thought that would happen a lot, especially if it was like the packages for Amazon and stuff. I would think. I don't know. It's more like a hotel than an apartment, but this is the mega coals symbol, so I think that's for drones, maybe. You know, they could make it where You could walk into here and take off with your jetpack. And this thing I open, you can leave with your jetpack, couldn't you? Streetcar depot. This is, I think, the only one I have streetcars in, maybe. A lot. What is it? Just traffic? Got laid off. Well, I don't want to like to hear that. Look. Got fired for inappropriate behavior. Wow. Well, they trying to get a job? I guess they got another job. There's a regular water tower. They have those in city skylines. It doesn't filter water. It's like a park of sorts. Whew. Oh, here we go. Revisited. Let's see. I just wanted to show you this one. Yeah, probably that's what I was thinking. That's definitely what I was thinking. Is sexual. What do you call it? I don't know what they call it. Sexual harassment. That's probably what it said. Inappropriate behavior. Exactly. Probably what it was. There's a big band. So you're getting a lot of tourists here. This is a hospital, and that's a. You can add modules to it, and drone hangers, so you can send them out, so they can reach a lot of bigger area. In city skylines, you had to put them in a lot of places, and this can have air, support. And that's kind of nice. You'd think they would add like helicopters to city skylines for the hospitals. It would be nice to have helicopters in city skylines for the hospitals and other little areas so we cover a bigger area, and we'd have to put them everywhere. That's just my opinion, but I don't think they add what people want. Obviously, EA don't, because they stopped making the game, fooling with the game. Yeah. That would be actually, I would buy that expansion. That would be really nice. Air Life, that would be really nice expansion. It'd help a lot with different things. With traffic, so maybe it can deliver even, for factories even via air like this one does. That would help a lot. Add pipes to the oil, like I showed. Pipeline, that would be, the pipeline would be extremely nice. That feature would help out with traffic. If you've been looking back in my city recently, yeah, I'm gonna get off here in a minute. Thank you for stopping by. It's a pretty nice chat. If you had that pipeline, if you look at my latest videos on my city skylines, that problems with them not getting resources and stuff and different things for the little petroleum factory. They had that pipeline, it'd never run out, and all of those trucks wouldn't have to be there going in and out of that. And if it had one outline pipe, it would be so nice. This one's okay, because they're buying all of it. Or not all of it, but some of it. See? And I think I'm going to end this stream. Go ahead and end this, and thank you for tuning in. Subscribe on I have a YouTube channel. Subscribe to that if you can, and hit the notification bell, because you'll see these archive better, and they'll be there permanently. Instead, Twitch is just 2 months, and you have playlists on there, so that's pretty nice, and it's a little bit better quality, and you can place better. Somebody said today was stuck in playing 1080p through Twitch for some reason, so I guess it wasn't encoding it right or something in Twitch, the player or something. So on YouTube, more devices, and it's not just 2 months. Twitch only stores it for 2 months, and unless they changed it, and you can't upload on Twitch. So if you want to know the URL to my YouTube channel, I don't have enough people subscribed to my YouTube to have a dedicated YouTube URL. So it's some long symbols right now and stuff. So the link is, you go to my website at chansmith.me. It's CHANSMITH.me, and hit the menu and click YouTube channel, and that's the link to my YouTube channel. And I have a facebook.com/ChanTechMan. It's a Chan Tech Man on Facebook. And like this video and share it and get in the comment section and chats. And thank you for tuning in. And I had a good chat.